Hi there, besties. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're throwing it back to the 1700s, the Industrial Revolution, aka the OG glow up era of machines, factories, and like every industry ever. So we are talking flying shuttles, steam engines, and coal power, and so on. So we're breaking down Industrial Revolution, inventions, and all the cool stuff without boring vibes. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's make history iconic. I know you somewhere. It's the 1700s. Britain's heating up, but not from drama, from machines, steam, and coal. This is the start of something huge, the Industrial Revolution. Factories popping up, people hustling, and life? It's speeding like never before. Britain's got the goods: coal, iron, colonies, and most important, cash. Plus, their governments holding it down strong, keeping things steady. All this, it set the stage for a glow up that made Britain the ultimate power player.
Let's get started. Beginning and the development of Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution can be briefly described as a great change in the industrial and technological field because new machines were invented to make the production efficient and skillful in an age where it was produced manually. So if you get the rough idea, it says that Industrial Revolution means humans replacing machines for manual labor. Production was produced manually at those ages, and it says that humans making changes to the industrial and technological fields and taking the use from it by machines. So that's the simple description about industrial revolution, but this is pretty challenging description. It's the description that is given to you, so I made it quick changes and made it easy for you. Humans changing industrial and technological fields by replacing manual work with machines over the past 60 years. Isn't that simple than the given description, and it gives the main idea. The important points are change in the industrial and technological fields and replacing machines instead of manual labor over the past 60 years. That's the main 3 points you have to understand. And to write the description, you must include that points and make the description a bit longer. So now we got that point, let's move on to the next one. Important facts. Industrial Revolution started in Britain by late 18th century. The origin of the Industrial Revolution was England, Britain. Main reason for this was trade. Began to spread to other countries by the 19th century. The Industrial Revolution started to spread all over the world by the 19th century. But the Industrial Revolution arrived to Sri Lanka in the 20th century. Okay, so the next one is the reasons for the emergence of Industrial Revolution. Okay, so there are few reasons. Political stability. So what is political stability? It's when a country's government is strong, organized, and not facing chaos or constant fighting. That means the government is so stable, they are so rigid, so strong, can handle the whole country. They have the guts, they have the confidence. They are the government. Okay, so no big wars inside the country, no leaders being overthrown all the time. Laws are followed, and people trust the system. That is what is not present in the prevailing government right now. Laws are followed by the people and amen. They trust the system because they see a progress. They see this is productive, this is worthy. So they trust the system and they are feeling safe. So the government is strong. That is another fact to prove that the government is strong. And economy grows steadily because people feel safe to work, trade, and invest. Because of the trustee system, they tend to work for trade and invest. They have no issue with the government. They are not helping. They are supportive. That means they because they trust the system, they help the government to invest, and they also get good advantage. I mean, the economy grows steadily because they work hard. They work hard because they trust the system, because the system is produced by government and blah blah blah, and the government is so strong. That is political stability. Why is that important? People feel safe. They can work, start business, and live without a fear. Investors trust the country. The other people, investing people, trust the country. They put money into farms, factories, and banks to invest from that. They trust that they have no issue that their money will be gone or lost, or no trust issues with them. Government can plan for the future, build roads, schools, and support business. They even have time to do this. The current situation, the prevailing situation in these days are not a good example of a political stable country. And less rebellion, fewer riots, no any wars. That means people see progress themselves so they don't fight the government. No point of fighting the government like nowadays. Nowadays people don't see any progress. Like, I'm not gonna talk about politics here, but to make this point more clear, political stability is what this means. So, for example, Great Britain had political stabilities in the 1700s to 1800s. Strong government means parliament plus king working together. They all worked as a team. They didn't take it as a joke, like controlling and taking care of the whole country, not one or two people. The whole team has to work together. Fewer internal wars. They did not have internal wars, means wars inside the country. Nothing to be afraid of. So people trusted the system. So money flowed into the business and trade. The most important thing about politics is that the peoples should trust the ruler. That is the fact that is not prevailing today. So I'm not gonna go into that region, but I'm gonna uh explain this point only. This is one big reason why the Industrial Revolution started here, the political stability. Okay, next one is decline of feudalism or enclosure or encroaching. Those three are like a medieval group, same meaning, feudalism, enclosure, and encroaching. Those are like the four people or the slaves too. Now the slaves are like minor people working under a person with more power, and they work in farms. Mm, The like many people all learned, and the most powerful person connect them together. So they decline that concept of encroaching. Feudalism or enclosure, all three words have the same meaning. So, decline of feudalism means more freedom and less fighting. The old system was lords on land, peasants worked like they were stuck. That's what I explained. The new vibe, guess what? Land was divided up and people could own land, move around, work for wages. The people mean the peasants mentioned uh, the point before. So the result was less local wars and power struggle. People felt secure within, focused on farming, trade, and industry. They focused on only that. They trusted. They trusted the government. So let's move to the next one: changing attitudes and ideas. The growth of mindset. They changed their attitude, like the old version was stick to tradition, 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 tradition only. We follow the culture. So the new vibe is that let's invent, build, and trade. That's what the changing in attitudes mean. They grow their mindset. So the result was education, science, and business started booming. People supported the government because it protected their progress. Less rebellion, more teamwork to grow the community again. Okay, hope you understand up to now. Next point is presence of a wealthy class. Money moves. Rich people from trade and land invested their cash in farms, factories, and businesses. They invest money without any doubt, without any issue. They trusted and issued their money, invested their money into farms, factories, and businesses. And the result were jobs were created, people earned more. Rich got richer, but workers survived. That's true. Yeah. And they survived because they had a good income and the government was friendly. So, stability because the economy was moving up. So, they meant in the stability inside the wealthy class. Next one, established banking system and financial institutions. Sophisticated banks save money, big plans. Banks got better. People could save, borrow, and invest safely. So the trust was more reliable, like the government was more reliable, and they won the trust of the people. So the result was businesses grew faster because people invested without any doubts. Like they were trusting their government and less need to fight, less money, stress. People trusted the system always. Government gained taxes, could protect the country and invest. So the people agreed to produce taxes, that means pay the tax because they trusted the government and that resulted to protect the country and invest. Availability of raw materials, the next point. Fuel for success. Coal, iron, wool, cotton. Britain had the goods. They had what they need. So in result, factories produced more, less need to fight over resources, fewer conflicts. Steady supply, steady economy, less chaos. So that's a simple point. Next, expansion of transportation facilities. Um, Transport expansion, easy movement equals more trade. Better roads, canals, railways, moving goods got faster. Roads, canals, and railways for people moved faster and cheap. And in result, businesses grew because they could sell to more places. Farmers and factory workers earned more. Less struggle for survival equals more stability. Governments collected more taxes, used it to keep the peace and improve infrastructure even more. They collected taxes, but a fair amount, and they uh, kept it to maintain the peace and improve the infrastructure. But nowadays, it's not true. So I'm not jumping into that era. Staying on the point, focus. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the prevailing conditions that's of no use. But so to mention, the government those days were very fair. And next, growth of colonies and trade, global money flow. British Empire expanded colonies like India, America, Caribbean, etc. gave raw materials plus markets to sell products. In result, tons of wealth came in, funded industries, army and navy. They funded it, fundraised the industries, like the eras of industries, army and navy. They invested tons of cash, jobs for sailors, traders, factory workers, because they have a lot of colonies to trade with, and so the jobs were given to sailors, traders, factory workers. Strong economy equals strong government means less risk of falling apart. Colonial power gave Britain confidence plus respect worldwide, kept enemies in check. Next and the last point, population growth, which means more workers, more buyers. Dated, the population growth to the brighter side, more workers, more buyers. But fair to people, even because their income is good. More people were born and people moved to cities thanks to the farming changes like enclosure movement. In result, more workers for factories plus farms production went up. More people buying goods, economy kept growing. Young working population equals energy plus innovation. Stable jobs plus income. People relied on the system, less likely to revolt. Okay, see, this is just a big challenging points because I have described it more than needed. I mean, like, I described for better understanding, like, there are only 9 to 10 points, and I hope you got them clearly, but I'm gonna do a little summary. Now, this all ties together. You see a relation among it. There may be a shuffling of points that so these 8 reasons fed into each other like a big success cycle. Like stable government encourage progress. Progress plus money. Strong economy. Strong economy. Happy working people. Happy working people, less rebellion. Less rebellion, more stability. More stability, even more growth. Okay, so in the second point, there was this encouraging enclosure or the feudalism. So let's discover what's feudalism, encouraging enclosure. Feudalism was a system in the Middle Ages where land was owned by kings or lords, and peasants worked the land in return for protection. Power was based on land ownership, and society was divided into strict classes. Okay, so that is the description of incursion movement. The land was owned by mages, and the peasants worked under the mages in lands, and so in return they were reserved protection. So based on land ownership, and society was divided into strict classes like masters, slaves, common masses, and elites. Like that was Greek. Yeah, that's true. But in British also there were uh, strict classes. So what do we mean by the decline of enclosure movement? So the point was decline of the feudalism. It doesn't mean it failed or stopped suddenly. That means the declination doesn't mean like it stopped suddenly. It just slowed and became less important. Why? Most land was already enclosed. By the late 1800s, most of the farmland in Britain had already been taken being taken by landowners. There wasn't much common land left to enclose. So that's how it's gradually decreased. Concept gradually decreased to happen. Fewer people dependent on farming. Industrial revolution moved factories and jobs in cities. So that's why people moved to cities to work in factories. They realize that this has an improvement, this has a good income. They trust the government. So they moved to cities to work in factories. So farming was not a main strategy here. Farming became more efficient. Enclosure worked, farms were more productive. Landowners were now focused on modern farming instead of taking more land. So the decline here means the movement slowed down naturally because the goal was achieved. Most land was enclosed. Focus shifted from grabbing land to farming better and working in factories. That's the summary of enclosure movement. To be the origin of industrial revolution, what are the conducives of Britain? That means what it has to be the origin of industrial revolution. That's called the conduciveness of Britain. So Britain is a small island, so it's easy, very easy. London being the center of trade distribution, building a web market throughout the country. So these are the three simple reasons for the conduciveness of Britain. Rise of the Industrial Revolution. So Industrial Revolution is based on three main categories: textile, iron and steel, and coal. Okay, no need explanation of the rise of Industrial Revolution. That's just based on three main categories. So what is textile industry? It's the industry that makes clothes like cotton, wool, silk, fabric, all that stuff. Textiles equals cloth and fabric. Industry means making and selling it. You know it, textile industry. Cloth fabric, making and selling cloth fabric. Why is it important? Biggest industry in Britain during the Industrial Revolution. Made Britain rich, cloth was in high demand everywhere. Created jobs, farmers, factory workers, weavers, merchants, so many jobs for people, so they were not staying lazy all day. They had a good income because of this textile industry. Pushed technology forward. Machines like spinning jenny and power loom made clothes faster and cheaper. So that is a good introduction for the inventions, I guess. So quick recap. High demand for clothes, importance of textile industry. High demand for clothes. British colonies needed a lot of clothes, so producers had to make textiles faster. The problem was weaving became faster thanks to flying shuttle in 1733 by John Kay. But making threads was still slow. Making threads was still slow. So, in result, Britain dominated global cloth trade. Economy went up, more factories, more jobs, and more exports. Textile industry helped Britain become a world power. So get it, bestie? Textiles were the TikTok of the Industrial Revolution, blowing up fast, making everyone rich. There was a chance for every single person. This is the main character of the Industrial Revolution, textiles. It was playing the major role. That's why more people got jobs, higher demand, more income. They invested more from trade and spreading them to colonies. Wow. So here's a simple summary. High demand for cloth, British colonies needed a lot of cloth, so producers had to make textiles faster and machines to speed up thread making. So let's move on to the inventions. Yeah, before that, there was the flying shuttle, 1733, John Kay, flying shuttle. That was really slow. But in 1764, James Hargreaves invented the spinning jenny. It was hand powered, spun several threads at once, like 8 to 10, I guess. Then 1769, Richard Arkwright, water frame, water turbine. Water powered stronger threads but big machine. They needed rivers. So you just have to loom nearby a river to work with the water turbine. Next, 1779, Samuel Crompton, spinning mill. Simply the mill. Combined jenny plus the water turbine made fine strong threads. Okay, you have a quite good idea right now. Then 1785, Edmund Cartwright invented the power loom. Power loom is invented with the theories of no, the mule was invented by the principles of Jenny plus water turbine. Samuel Crompton just connected the machines Jenny and water turbine, took those principles and made the mill. It was pretty successful, but then Edmund Cartwright used the same machine using steam power. Steam powered mill, fully automatic weaving using the steam. Right? Okay, so here are the inventors and the invention. Flying shuttle, John Kay, 1733. Next, we have the spinning jenny by James Hargreaves in 1764. So you had to memorize like these pictures. I think, yeah, this picture is given in the textbook. And this is the water frame or water turbine by Richard Arkwright in 1769. Spinning mill by Samuel Crompton, 1779. Power loom by Edmund Cartwright, the same mill but used steam power in 1785. Next, this is something additional, the cylinder sewing by Thomas Bell in 1790. This is a sewing machine so the purpose of this machine was it was designed to sew continuous seams on cylindrical objects like hats, boots, or sleeves. The invention helped automate sewing in areas that were difficult with flatbed machines, expanding sewing capabilities in textile industries. Okay, that's something additional. Next, reasons for the industrialization in textile sector. Why this was industrialized? Top 3 reasons for the industrialization in textiles. Like these are just 3, there are more reasons. There was a high demand for clothes, more people and colonies needed clothes. New inventions, machines like spinning jenny and power loom made cloth faster. Raw materials, easy to access cotton from colonies. The result was machines replaced handwork, cloth made faster and cheaper. Big chance in textile industry within about 30 years. I can't say it's exactly 30 years. There was a revolution in textile industry within about 30 years. So here's a short note. From slow handwork to fast machines, from fast machine to factories, from factories to mass production. Let's move on to the next category. Iron and steel industry. So Britain had lots of ore. used iron for tools, weapons, and machines. So the problem was firewood wasn't enough for making a lot of iron. So the new method was the inventions. I'll explain that later. So the reasons for the industrialization in iron and steel, the reasons, okay, increased demand for machinery, advanced in technology, example, the Bessemer process. Let's discuss it in the next picture. Abundance of coal and iron ore, railroads and infrastructure expansion, capital investment and industrial growth, better production methods, example the rolling mills. We'll discuss all of them. Those are the reasons for the industrialization of iron and steel. So the inventions are 1730 Abraham Darby invented, no, he found by using coal to smelt iron. He found a method by using coal you can smelt iron, which made iron abundant. That means they found iron and they can use it in machines. Made iron production easier and faster. That was the impact of that contribution. 1784 Henry Caught the roller machines. The roller machines produced stronger, better quality iron. Now this is a real important fact. 1856 Henry Bessemer. Bessemer process made steel quickly by cleaning impurities. That means they filtered the rods or the waste materials from pure iron. They purified the iron. Then in the 1860s, can say that it's exactly the year 1860, but however, in 1860s, they invented the open oven method. This inventor is anonymous. Improved steel production, high quality steel, faster and cheaper. Then in 1870, Wilhelm Siemens invented the electric oven, smelted iron more efficiently. Okay, so that's for iron and steel industry. Now here are the inventions and the inventor. Now this is Abraham Darby the first. In 1730, he used coke to smelt iron. Coke, coke means not the Coca-Cola. That's from burning coal. That's taken from burning coal. By using coke, he smelt iron. Here is the machine. And this is Abraham Darby the first, not like a king only. His sons were named after him. He had a son and a daughter, I think. His son was named Abraham Darby II. This is Henry Cort, invented the roller machine in 1784. Okay, next one is the Bessemer process. This is Henry Bessemer. He invented this in 1856. This is the machine. It made steel quickly by cleaning the impurities. It's just like a filter. This is the open oven or hearth method. Now, this was invented in 1860s. I said there were no definite inventor for this. It was anonymous. However, this is the method how they produced high quality steel faster and cheaper. So I couldn't find proper evidence of footage regarding the electric oven by Wilhelm Siemens, but you have to take the rough idea that it was invented in 1870 by Wilhelm Siemens. What was invented? Electric oven. The impact was melted iron more efficiently. Next, coal industry, the last category under Industrial Revolution. Coal was essential in Britain for smelting ore, running machines, and household use. Coal mining was difficult, so there were many inventions to solve problems like the issues are given in one side, the solution, inventor, and the year. So the issue was the water in mines. That's one issue for coal mining. So the solution was the steam engine to pump out water. The steam engine was invented by Thomas Newcomen in 1735. Heat and gases in mines. The solution was improved steam engine for efficiency. The inventor was James Watt in 1765. So the problem was lightning in mines, safety lamp to provide light. Humphrey Davy, 1812. So those were the issues, solutions, and the inventor. Which year was it invented? So that's what's mentioned in the textbook about the inventions for overcoming problems in the coal mines. And here are some facts. Coal is a cheap and efficient energy source, okay? But the difficulty of digging out coal, pumping away the water, increasing of heat, and poisonous air in coals. That's what we discussed in the previous slide, and the solutions also we discussed about it. And in 1839, iron cables replaced copper cables to remove coal from mines. Coal byproducts. Coal was used to make tar, paints, medicine, perfumes, oil, and fertilizers. Um, Coal used as a byproduct. They used for other purposes as well.
So besties, that's for coal industry, and we've completed the three main categories of industrial revolution. And I want you to know that I have linked some PDF learning materials in my description, a short note about the whole points we discussed until now. So do watch that, do refer to that too. I know it will be a lot helpful. And that's a wrap for part 1. We've just scratched the surface of this wild industrial revolution ride. Coal burning, textile popping, and Britain on the global game. But hold up, there's so much more to spill in part 2. You don't want to miss it. So hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe, besties. See you soon. Stay curious. Bye.
What a wonderful world.